in the hood, and you just didn't see an owl in that part of Dallas like that. You just didn't. And I knew that that was strange and different, and that was a very clear message from her. But that is what I mean as an example, is you may have a story like that began this for you. You may, like myself, have a very broad cultural background that drew you into this. But what is that? That's number one, identify your calling. Number two, determine your starting point. We all have different starting points here. While this guide is to provide a comprehensive overview, remember that your exploration is yours. Okay? So the order that this is even in may not work for you. You can put this in any order you want. I just put it in this order because this is how it came to my brain. Okay? But reflect on what resonates with you. Remember how I always say, if this is for who it is for. But what resonates with you? Does meditation resonate with you? Does the concept of manifestation, just all of that resonate with you? Everything about manifestation, does that resonate with you? What starting point do you want to start at? Do you want to start journaling? Do you want to start with EFT tapping? Where do you want to start at? Okay? And because I've gone over EFT tapping many times, I won't again in this episode. But I need you to tell yourself, what is your starting point? And feel free to write any of this down, pause this, whatever, take notes. I am big on asking you all to take notes. Okay. Number 3, understand the universal laws. And this is where the law of attraction comes in. The law of attraction is the one you're going to hear about the most on my show. Everybody's different. Okay. Every spiritual practitioner, manifestation coach, hippie, all of us are different. Okay. And we all teach differently and we all emphasize different areas. But for my podcast and the Lua Nova brand, the law of attraction is very important, but you have to determine what you consider to be the most important. So really briefly, I'm going to give you the definition of the universal laws, but we're not going to get into the definition of every single one of these. There are generally considered to be 12 universal laws in New Age spirituality, each governing different aspects of the universe and our interaction with it. These laws are believed to be fundamental principles that guide the functioning of the cosmos and influence everything in existence. Okay, so I'm going to give you the ones that resonate the most with what I'm teaching. But for now, let's go over all 12 and what they are. Number 1, the law of divine oneness. Number 2, the law of vibration. Number 3, the law of correspondence. Number 4, the law of attraction. Number 5, the law of inspired action. Number 6, the law of perpetual transmutation of energy. Number 7, the law of cause and effect. Number 8, the law of compensation. Number 9, the law of relativity. Number 10, the law of polarity. Why couldn't I get that out? What? The law of polarity. Number 11, the law of rhythm. Number 12, the law of gender. Okay. So the ones that you will hear me cover the most, the law of vibration, the law of attraction, the law of, the law of rhythm. And then there's one that is not on this list because it's a concept from Neville Goddard, the law of assumption. Okay. So I'm actually going to start with the law of assumption because it's my favorite. The law of assumption, again, is a concept by Neville Goddard. So it's not considered to be a part of the original 12 universal laws, but that's okay. The law of assumption states that according to, my notes are all over the place. According to the law of assumption, what you assume to be true, whether positive or negative, will manifest in your life. If you consistently assume success, if you consistently assume wealth, if you consistently assume love, your external reality will align. What's that word that I just used, class? Align with these assumptions. That is the law of assumption. Living as if. So if I'm living as if I have the biggest podcast in the world, which I do, by the way, I live as if it has already manifested. There is a TikToker, and my God, I'm so upset that I did not write her name down or something. I absolutely love her, and I don't think that she realizes she's manifesting this great life for herself. So she makes these funny skits about in her kiddie pool. She has like a little kid pool, and she's always talking about how rich she is. And you guys don't have these fruit trees that I have because I'm so rich, and I have this pool house, which is actually like a Barbie playhouse. And she talks about it as though she is the richest woman in the world. And that is the law of assumption. Little does she know she is actually manifesting it. And so I cannot actually wait to see that happen for her, because I'm not sure if she means to be manifesting this outstanding life for herself, but she most certainly is manifesting it, and we are watching it happen. I'm seeing her numbers grow. I'm seeing the likes go up. She's very likable, and I hope that you all come across her videos so you can see firsthand what the law of assumption looks like. But another one that I go over, obviously, a lot is the law of attraction. This one is straight to the point. Like attracts like. The energy you emit through your thoughts, through your feelings, underline feelings and beliefs, attracts similar energies back to you. Positive energy attracts positive. Negative energy attracts negative. That's literally what the law of attraction is. Straight to the point. I'm not going to get more into it. And before anybody ever asks, and yes, at some point I want to go more in depth with this, you did not attract your own trauma. Don't ever let anybody tell you otherwise. You didn't attract your own trauma. If, like myself, that trauma began extremely early in your life, you certainly didn't attract that. Okay? So don't ever think that. But another one that I recently went over is the law of inspired action. Now, again, as I said in that episode, I'm not telling you that you got to go work 70 hours, etc. The law of inspired action can also be journaling, meditating, staying in a high vibrational state of mind. Okay? So that's one that I have already gone over. So we'll go right on to the next one. The last one that you will hear me talk about a lot is the law of rhythm. Everything in the universe has a natural rhythm. Everything. There are seasons, cycles, and patterns in the universe. Think of the seasons. Natural rhythm. Nobody has to tell the trees that it's time for their leaves to change. The law of rhythm. Okay? This law teaches us to recognize and work with these natural rhythms. Yes, we connect with them all the time, whether we know it or not. And because I don't want this to go too long, I'm just going to leave it right there so that we can get back to the rest of the list. Okay? So, we are now on number 4. Explore the basics of manifestation. Okay? So here's my notes. Manifestation is the art of bringing your desire into reality. When you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with your intentions, start by learning the basics, okay? Set a clear and specific goal. Remember, this doesn't have to be a big goal. I have given you all kinds of funny ideas, that I'm not serious about when I say you want to manifest a hamster. If you really do, go for it. But that is what I mean by start small. But that's just an example of exploring the idea of manifesting on any scale. Okay, you can manifest a yacht, you can manifest a hamster. Guess what? The universe sees those as the same. It's not considered, because the universe is, think about our spirit guides. Yes, some of them were in human form, but the ones like, God, like that one, like that spirit, or I always use the example of the energy of a planet. They have no concept of how we as humans see energy. We see the energy of a hamster as being smaller than the yacht, whereas the divine sees them as the same thing. You just want to manifest, right? So put anything in that category whatsoever. What is it that you want to manifest? Explore the basics of manifestation. That's number 4. Okay. As you deepen your understanding, you're going to fine tune your energy. So in other words, you're going to stay in the energy of what you want. And you're going to be on this high vibration. And the higher vibration you are, the easier it is to manifest. You're going to start seeing how easy everything comes to you. So that's just a basic definition of exploring the basics of manifestation. Okay? Because it is very basic and it sounds very basic, and it's like, well, Josie, you made that sound so easy. It is. I wish there was more to it that I could tell you, but it really is that simple. You can manifest good, you can manifest bad. It's up to you. Where do you want to manifest? Where do you want to begin with your manifestations? I always say to start out small. Manifest a free pen. How do you do that? Go to a dealership. They'll give you a free pen. I know this firsthand. Go to a doctor's office. Manifestation is really that simple of a concept. And sometimes you just need that super easy example. Sometimes you need to practice that super easy example so that you can see that the universe sees it as all the same thing. The same way that you manifested a pen, you can manifest a whole car. You can manifest a whole house. I have manifested a whole car many times. This is my third car that I believe I've manifested. Or was it it's actually the fourth. I take that back. But so it does not matter because the universe sees all of the energies as being the same. But I won't stay on that too long. Cultivate a spiritual practice. Now this is one that I really want you to highlight, underline, put all kinds of exclamation points by. The reason why it's important for you to cultivate a spiritual practice is that it helps you to match the energy of what it is that you're wanting. So do you want to meditate? Do you want to start your day off with affirmations? Remember, affirmations only work if you do. If you don't really believe for 1 second that you can manifest money, then saying all the money affirmations in the world will not help you. Okay? But you have to create your own ritual and you have to be consistent with them. So I want to talk to you briefly about meditation because this is a lot of the time where a lot of you start. Meditation does not have to be you sitting crisscross applesauce quietly listening to meditation music and your brain is completely clear. All that is awesome. And the more that you meditate, the easier that will become for you. However, meditation looks different for all of us. I've told you this before and I'm going to say it again. When I'm in a meditative state, it's actually on the treadmill. Because think about the treadmill, it makes the same noise over and over and over again. Think about a fan and how the fan sounds. Think about anything that just has a hum to it. Law of rhythm. Think about it. Think about how that sounds to you. And so when I'm on the treadmill, obviously I can't really hear the treadmill, but I can hear my steps. I can hear people around me a little bit. Not really because I have good headphones, but I can hear everything around me, right? And so in order to go into this meditative state, I now begin to focus on the music. And I told you all before, you don't have to use regular meditation music to get into a meditative state. If you want to meditate to anything, any song at all, it is possible. Because we all like different types of music, correct? That is actually what's universal though. Think about a song that makes you feel ecstatic, that makes you want to get up and move. Think about a song that makes you happy, that just puts you in this happy state. It could be Pharrell's Happy. I know a lot of you hate that song, but that's just an example. I don't hate that song, but I also haven't listened to it in a million years. And this is just an example. Think about an artist and how their music resonates with you. I just mentioned Frontera. I think I did at some point in this episode. If not, it was in the original segment that I recorded. Their music makes me feel on this very peaceful state, or it makes me want to move about. That's why I actually listen to them a lot when I'm driving, because it keeps my mind focused on their music and not on dumb drivers, usually. And so that's what works for me for my meditative state. My loved one who suggested this episode to me mentioned that when they are operating heavy machinery and they need to tune out everybody who's complaining, they need to tune out everybody who is just so negative, that they go into a meditative state by focusing on their affirmations, by focusing on what it is that they are trying to manifest. And so they're focused so much on that, on those affirmations, or the affirmations they might be listening to, or the music that they're listening to that's about, for instance, making money, that they no longer hear everything around them. So they are now in a meditative